everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Clara. If you didn't know, well, now you do know. So this review is going to be like my very first fantasy review, and I also have like a vlog coming up of this book that I read. I don't know if it's going to be like before this or after this or how I'm going to do that, but it's coming. I need to edit it and I just need to like finish some parts of it, but it is coming and it's like my first vlog, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, let's just get right into it. I didn't even tell you guys what the name of the book is, but it's, hold it up correctly, Clara. It is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I always get super confused about what this is called because of like the other books in the series. This is the first of the series. It's by Sarah J. Maas. She also does like, she has like a couple of other series. I haven't read anything from her. This, like I said, is like my very first kind of fantasy. I mean, I read Twilight and stuff, but I was in high school and most people probably read Twilight, you know what I mean? Like, and I read like Divergent and stuff, but that's not really fantasy. I feel like we live in a world like that anyways right now. So yeah, this is my first fantasy as an adult. And let me tell you, I didn't know that I wanted fairy sex. Like if someone was like, Clara, you think you'd be into fairy sex? I'd be like, no. Like that's something that I could probably like pass and like not ever go life knowing anything about. This book completely changed my mind on that. So that was interesting. So you are following a girl named Freya and like her like journey story with the like mortal world and then like the not mortal world, the fairy world. So it starts off where Freya is the one that hunts for her family and she kills a wolf-looking creature, kind of like the creature that's like right here on the cover of the book. So like, you know, it has like big nails, pointy ears, like sharp teeth, you know, all wolf-y like. It has an arrow through it, so if she kills the wolf with an arrow, has to hunt for her family because her dad is injured and also like a little bit lazy, I would say. And then she has these two sisters that are just annoying. I hated them. Like from the get-go, I really just like disliked these sisters. They were rude. They were, it wasn't like characters that I really enjoyed reading, and like I kind of cringed a lot. Also, talking about cringy, the ellipses, I don't know how to like say this, but like the ... in this book, it's like just in 5 pages you have like 20 of them. So it's like she ... she went riding, he watched her ... he something, like y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna put examples right here. I'm just gonna like probably take some from like the book and put them here, but there's a lot of those and that was kind of annoying. But like I don't know, like I'm not here to like bash any sort of literature because I feel like I'm not literate enough to bash literature, if that makes sense. Like even though I have a book channel, I read, but I don't read like profound literature, you know what I mean? So that was a little bit annoying, just, you know, just like a smidget, because there was a lot of those. Anyways, Clara, get back to topic. So you meet Freya. She hunts for her family and like they've lost everything. So she's super poor, like super poor. Her dad did bad investments and someone came and like injured her dad. Her dad can't hunt, so Freya is like left to fend for her family pretty much. And her mom passed away and her mom made her promise that she will take care of her family like no matter what. And Freya said, okay, like I will, like no matter what, I will do what I can for my family and like feed them. Because she killed this whatever, because she killed this wolf person, there is a fairy that comes to her, and they're not like, ooh, fairies. Like, they're like dangerous fairies. Like, in this land, like, people see fairies of like as super dangerous. Like, they have like power, they're immortal, and like, you know, they're just like, they're super powerful. Whereas like Freya and where she lives is like the human world. It's the mortal world, like our world. And in the first couple of chapters, they're saying like, oh, there's something that's like coming on the land, like there's like this disease that's coming, and like it's coming from like the fairy world. So that kind of just gets like sprinkled in the first like couple of chapters. The first, I would say, half of the book is kind of slow. Like, it's a lot of world building. It's a lot of like knowing kind of what is happening, but like you don't really know what is happening. So that was a little slow at first, but I understand that, you know, there's a lot of world building. You're entering a world that like we don't know anything about. So obviously Sarah J. Maas has to build the world so you understand what is happening. So like, I guess the world is like split into two, and there's mortals, non-mortals. There's a big wall, forest. Once you pass that, you're in like the fairy world. So the guy that comes says, hey, you have to come live in the fairy world. And she's like, no, because in the mortal world, like, everyone is afraid of fairies, and like they grew up pretty much saying like fairies are gonna kill you, and like they can't lie, like just like a whole bunch of stuff. And you know, like, we're always, I feel like, I don't know how to put this, but like the unknown, like the people that are unknown are always super scary, because you obviously like don't know them, and like the more you're told about that culture, that whatever, in a way that is bad, you are going to be like, oh, that's bad. Like, if you grew up your whole life being like, that is bad, and you never met that type of person, you're going to think that that is bad. And so she gets taken to the fairy world, and she has to live in like this big castle, and then she meets these two guys in particular. So she meets Tamlin and Lucien. I just call him like Lucifer, okay? In my mind, I call him Lucifer. I know that's not his name, but that's what I call him. So Tamlin is like the head person, like there. He's one of the high lords, and he isn't very nice, but he is very nice to her, and he starts being very nice to her, and she is just like, what is happening? Fairies are supposed to be like such assholes. Taking a sip of my iced coffee. Like, fairies are supposed to be just like these assholes, and like they're supposed to hurt me, and like I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna go into this fairy world, and I'm gonna have like 24 hours to live. I'm gonna be a slave, and I'm gonna die. That isn't at all what happens. She's greeted like very, very well. Everyone is very nice to her. Like, it's gorgeous where she is. She's not enslaved. She's not enslaved or anything. And she's just like, she's so confused. Like, this is not what the human world, like the mortal world, has taught her about fairies. And she ends up falling in love with Tamlin. A whole bunch of like messy kind of stuff like happens, and she has to like fight for him, and all like, I don't know, it's hard. Like, I don't want to spoil like what is happening, obviously, but like they end up like being together, and then something happens, and the disease that is spreading in the land gets to Tamlin, and she has to stop what is happening. So she is kind of like his last chance of like getting back to what the world was before this disease, I'm putting that in quotation marks, comes and like takes over all the lands, and like the fairies have just like a horrible land. So yeah, she's like the only person that can stop that. I probably said that like 4 times already. Sorry. That's pretty much the premise of this. I really enjoyed it. I would probably rate it like a 3.5 or a 4, kind of 3.75, just because it was long at first, like but also like I was having if you watch the vlog, like I was having a lot of anxiety. Like I really took my time reading this, like, but I liked it and I enjoyed it. It's just that I'm not into fantasy, but I wasn't like dreading it every single time that I was reading this book. I thought it was pretty good. The steam was, there's only like one scene. It's not like super graphic or anything. So if you don't like steam, then I think like you would really enjoy this. And it wasn't too like fantasy-y. Like it was fantasy, but it wasn't like everything is fantasy kind of thing. Like there's definitely a lot of, things that is like very much so like underlining that were really good, and I really enjoyed Sarah J. Maas's writing. I am going to continue reading the rest of the series. The other books in the series scare me because they're very, very, very long. I think the Mist of Fury one is like bigger than my whole damn face, and I've got a big face. It's like 600 pages or something. So yeah, but I'm starting The Wall of Winnipeg in Me, and that's like over 600 pages, so I don't know like why I'm complaining. But I feel like the bigger the book is when it comes to fantasy, it's just like there's a lot of detail and you really have to like listen, whereas for romance it's a little bit different. But yes, I will keep on reading the rest of this series. I'm super excited for the next one and what happens to Freya and what happens to like the kingdoms and what happens to everyone else that's like involved in this and like her family and stuff. Yeah, Freya is just, she's a badass bitch. Like she's awesome. She's such a good main character. She's such a strong like woman character. I love the trials that she has to go through, and like, you know, just to prove that like she's strong, like she's not just like a stupid human. Like I am gonna keep on reading it, like I said. Please, in the comments down below, let me know if you have read this book or not, and if you read the whole entire series, if you like it, if you didn't like it, which book was your favorite, rank it down below. Also, any other Sarah J. Maas books that y'all like, put it down below. I'll have a look and a read, see if I find it interesting or not. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Please like this video, comment, subscribe, share it. It really helps me get views, obviously. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back very soon with the vlog of me reading this book. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye!